As Levant for Rebel News, it's after midnight, finally back at our hotel here in Dublin, and we're taking the first flight back to Toronto tomorrow morning. We came with one purpose only, and that was to take the pulse of the people of Dublin after a shocking crime happened in their city. Allegedly, a 26-year-old migrant who had been staying at Ireland's largest refugee camp, a 2,000-person swanky hotel turned into a migrant facility, has been accused of raping a 10-year-old girl. He was in court this morning. By the way, he's been in Ireland for 6 years. He had his refugee claim rejected. Still, he refused to go. He was given a deportation order. Still, he refused to go. And by the way, at his trial, he required an Arabic language translator. Sounds like he didn't even bother to even try to learn the language. It's shocking. And this is the latest in a pattern of crimes by foreign migrants who are overwhelming Ireland. I don't understand why this country is so dead set on, setting some sort of record for the most migrants. And many of them are so obviously bogus. They've come here, many of them walking across from the United Kingdom, from Northern Ireland into Ireland. Clearly, they're not in any danger. If you're coming from the UK or France, you're not in danger. You're not a refugee anymore. It's a scam. We had a taxi driver today who was talking about how hard it is for him to get ahead and to buy a house, whereas all these migrants get free, luxurious accommodations either in a hotel or in a house, including 3 square meals a day. And it's an economic issue, it's a cultural issue, and it's a women's rights issue because so many of these migrants come from places where women are treated as second-class citizens, and rape culture is a real thing. We went to the City West Hotel during the day to take a look at it, and we went back at night when hundreds of Dubliners were there to protest. The protests turned violent, and both sides absolutely lashed out at the other. I suppose on the side of the Dubliners, there was, I'd say, half a dozen people who were using fireworks to shoot at the police. I don't think there would be more than that. There were 3 Irish lads on horseback that sort of stomped on police pylons. So that was the sum total of the violence from the protesters' side. I would say 10 or less people. But on the police side, once they had that provocation, they responded overwhelmingly. I would say at least 100 Irish Gardaí, as they're called, including the riot squad. I thought I heard attack dogs, but they were never deployed. But what was deployed was pepper spray. And I got pepper spray in the eye and the ear. I tell you, that's an experience you won't forget quickly. I'm not much for that kind of protest. I think where I come from, Canada has a more passive style than Ireland. There's a phrase, the fighting Irish. And I think the Irish have a rebellious streak in them, which is one of the reasons they're such a interesting and powerful people. And I'm sort of hoping that the Irish streak of rebellion will help free the country from this crazy mass immigration cult. And I think that's the thing that I take away from me tonight, is that the hundreds of people there, some of whom are violent, most of them are, all of whom are desperate. No one's hearing their voice. No one's being their voice. No one's listening to them. All the major political parties believe in mass immigration, and if you oppose it, they call you racist. All the major media do the same thing. Who do these people turn to? Where do they look for help? It's not shocking to me that some of them use fireworks against the police. I don't recommend that, of course. I don't praise the violence, but it's understandable, even if it's not acceptable. I think that we're going to see another round of these protesters being denounced as racist, but it doesn't change the fact that these mass immigration refugee camps are a danger. And even if they're not a danger of violence, which they are, they're changing Ireland. They're making it a different place. I was in the town of Dundrum last year, 200 people, and suddenly 240 migrants were put into a town of 200 people. Instantly, the Irish became a minority in their own town. There's terrible things going on here in Ireland being done to the people, but there's also some hopefulness, the people fighting back. One of the roles that Rebel News plays is that we tell the other side of the story. I love coming to Ireland to show the Irish what is happening because they can't get that information often from their regime media. And being from North America, we love to tell the story to North Americans. I call my trips to Ireland and the UK and to France and Netherlands, I say they're a dystopian time machine where I see what life will be like in Canada 5 years from now if we don't change course. I love being there tonight. So many Irish people stopped me to say hello. There was one person who didn't like me much. I was sneaked up on behind in sugar punch. That was first for me as well. But, nothing's going to deter me from continuing my journalism. I have to say that 2 years ago, I'd never been to Ireland in my life. I really didn't know any Irish people other than Irish Canadians. But now I love the place. I love coming over, and our videographers do. I think this is our 6th trip over here. And I want to know how the story ends. I want it to be a happy ending. I want the Irish to take back their country, and I want the madness of the NGOs and the mass immigration to stop. I want that to be done peacefully, and I'm not sure if the powers that be will allow that to be done peacefully. We'll be there every step of the way to document it. I remain a friend of Ireland, and I wish the country very well. I'll be back very soon. If you've enjoyed my reports today, and we'll have some more over the days ahead, we're still editing so many videotapes, please do me a favor and help chip in for our economy class airfare to get over here. My videographer Lincoln and myself, we don't take any money from the government, unlike RTE. We just rely on the support of our viewers. So if you like our journalism and value it, do me a favor and go to migrantreports.com and chip in a few euros or a few dollars if you can. Thanks, Ireland. We'll see you soon.